Welcome back, everyone. We have a great guest. We have Luca from Necrot. How are you doing today?
Doing great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Well, let's get into this. You're about to release your third studio record. How has the writing and recording process changed since your first record?
Well, the shit. I wish I had an interesting answer, but it's like we've been doing the same shit for years, so the process is kind of the same. It hasn't
Mhm.
changed much. It's like I've been writing the songs for Necro since 2011, and
Mhm.
so the writing process, we work a lot on our own. Like before we get together, we're not a band that gets in the studio and jam and see what happens. We're not like the Grateful Dead or some shit. So it's like usually I write the songs and then I show them to Sonny, and then I talk with Chad and we come up with the drum beats, and then we meet in the studio once everybody already knows what he's doing. And then Sonny writes the solos for the songs on his own. So then when we get together, there is already like 80-90% of the song done. And
Dang.
then we can work on the details. We get a recording going with our phone or a simple setup. That way we can listen to the song back and change minor things, do some listening at home. And then usually we get like 2 weeks or 20 days, usually 2 weeks,
Yeah.
where we jam. We go in the studio and we play every day the album, each
Yeah.
song, for 2 weeks straight, nonstop. And then we go straight into the studio, and then we're recording for 20, 25 days in a row. So basically, it's like, you have this month and a half that every
Yeah.
day we get together, we work on the song, we practice, we get tired playing them. And then boom, we go into the studio, and every day we go in until we're done.
Dang, that's pretty interesting. And with you guys writing this record, are these all brand new songs, or any of these archived that you reworked?
No, these are all new songs. I didn't have anything old that. No, nothing. Because sometimes you feel like maybe there was some leftover
Yeah.
from the album before. No, we had nothing like that. These are all new songs.
And this was with this being 8 tracks. Did anything not make it on this record?
No, everything made it.
Dang. Yeah,
I
because you
mean,
have
there
like a
was
crazy one.
one riff. One riff didn't make it. One riff didn't make it, but it might never get used ever again. So
That's not
one
bad.
riff got killed.
Dang. And then, as like you guys are a three piece, are there any creative or performance challenges you guys have being a three piece in death metal?
Oh, not at this point, because we've been playing, the three of us, for 13 years, and we know what works. Like we don't do anything that would require two guitars live. Like there is some parts that, of course, there is two guitars recorded,
Mhm.
but it will still translate decently live or close to perfection. There is no parts that they are clearly two guitar parts,
Yeah,
like for example, like some Iron Maiden harmony parts where is the other guitar. We don't do stuff like that you would absolutely need another guitar.
that would be crazy though. Not gonna
Yeah, but it
lie,
would be crazy with only one guitar. It would be shitty more than crazy.
right? And you guys been in the industry since 2011, like you guys been talking about. Do you feel like the death metal scene has changed at all since forming in 2011?
Probably. I mean, there is a lot of new bands. There is a lot of kids that got into death metal
Mhm.
that weren't necessarily coming from metal. There is a lot of people that got into exposed to death metal because death metal got somewhat popular again, or
Yeah.
something like that. So I feel like there is more of a mix of different influences for
Yeah.
many newer bands. But
Yeah.
besides that, I think that, like, I mean, the core of it is still the same. It's playing heavy, fast, or down tune music. And I think
Yeah.
like the reason why people play this kind of music is still kind of the same. It's like you wanna be as loud as you can and fucking scare your neighbors.
Right. um, and has your gear as a vocalist and bass player changed at all since you guys formed this band?
Well, I've had the same bass since we
Mhm.
started. I play a 1978 Gibson RD Artist,
Mhm.
and now I bought
Nice.
another one a few years ago. So now I have two of those, but they're two of the same. And then gear, like, now I've been using a Sun head, but that's been for like already like at least 7 or 8 years. I don't know. I'm really happy with my gear. I went through a few different pedals,
Hmm.
because I had a pedal one, and then this guy, Michael Klein, is a badass dude. He made me a pedal, and I liked it for a while.
Nice.
And then I switched for another pedal, and now he's gonna make me another pedal. So pedals will I'll fuck with pedals a little bit,
Hey, well,
but
that's
my main
exciting.
gear is always staying the same. And also it's like my pedals are always like little twitches on the same shit. Kind of like it's not that I'm going from a complete different pedal to another. We're just trying to perfect the same pedal, kind of.
Yeah. So you're only working with one pedal right now like when you play live?
When I play, I only have one pedal. I have one that is just a tuner,
Ah,
so that's
okay.
just for tuning. So that doesn't make any difference in the sound.
Yeah.
So I only work with one pedal. Yes.
That makes sense. That's crazy. I thought you would be crazier since you guys are
Well,
heavy
no,
and
Sonny,
aggressive.
I'm the bass player. Sonny is the guitar player. He has a bunch of pedals.
Yeah.
I don't know if he uses all of them or how often, but like yeah, he has a few pedals there, more than I do for sure. My bass got a lot of gain and more down tuned to be. I have big ass
Mhm.
strings, so it's like my bass sounds really big.
I mean, when you're in B, it should sound pretty big. That's a low tune, man. Well,
Yeah, so
that's
it's
not
like you
like
know
it.
we need that because we're only a three piece.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when Sonny start doing the solo part, it would drop too much the volume. Instead, I need a bass to have a big sound, like to be almost the same level of the guitar as far as volume, being a three piece.
Okay. And then you guys been on some insane tours already, especially this year. Do you have like a dream tour lineup you would love to be on?
We already did. We did that. We did our dream tour in 2019. That we got called on the Decibel tour, and
Yeah.
we were direct opener for Morbid Angel
Damn.
before Cannibal Corpse, and the opener of the night was Blood Incantation. So that
Damn.
was the tour in 2019. That was, and then what happened? The last week of the tour or something like that, Cannibal Corpse had to drop,
Mhm.
and they got replaced by Immolation.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I don't know, after we did that, it's like there is no more dream tours. Like that's
That
done. I don't
I
know.
I mean, you played with some of the biggest bands already, so it's pretty intense. Like
I
it's
said
crazy.
they are like the defining bands of the genre that they're
Oh
still
yeah.
active. And then we got to play with Possessed multiple times and Autopsy, like or like we feel like very lucky.
And with playing with bands like that, do you feel like you learn a lot from them touring wise?
Yeah, you do definitely. I mean, I feel like that we've learned from every single bands we've been on tour with. Even from we've also been on tour with bands that they're not exactly playing our style, even recently with Municipal Waste. Or
Yeah.
we went on tour with the Black Dahlia Murder when Trevor was still alive, and like we learned so much from every single band we go on tour with, because it's a sharing experience, and you get to
Mhm.
see a band every night for a month, so you really start noticing all the little tricks or whatnot.
Is there any traits that you learned from going on those tours that you bring to Necrot?
Well, a lot that I learned, because it's like I'm a frontman in Necrot, so I need to talk with the crowd a
Yeah.
lot in between songs, and it's like that's something that you learn to do and not be ashamed of doing, because it's like when you come from the underground for many years and you're playing smaller shows,
Mhm.
and it's a different kind of crowd. It's a different kind of crowd that expects different kinds of things. While when you're playing on a bigger scenario with bigger audiences, with people that are not used eventually to go to underground show, or at least some of them or whatnot, you're expecting to like speak to the crowd in a way that is a little bit more cheesy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not cheesy, but it's like it's part of the show. You have a big ass room of people
Mhm.
that they're just there, and you need to get them involved. You need to
Mhm.
get them involved because you want them to get involved. You want to have that share of energy. And also, it's like our show is intense and fucking crazy, and we do want people to go crazy. I like the idea of our show be like this lawless 40 minutes where anything can happen.
Yeah.
I like to have that with our show. So it's like you need to transmit that to people, otherwise they don't know that's what you want to do. So it's like you have to learn to speak with the crowd, and it's like something that I learned not to feel ashamed of doing by going on tour with bigger bands.
Mhm.
And have fun doing it, and don't take yourself so seriously,
Yeah.
because it's like I get it, it's like when you're writing the album, when you're recording the album, that's more intense, that's more personal, but the live show is just pure adrenaline,
Yeah.
So it's like that you gotta capture the moment and you want to share it with people, and you need to find a way for people to get it. That's what we're about to do.
Yeah, that's crazy. And with you guys having a growing catalog, how do you feel like your approach is gonna be with putting the songs from this new record into the set list?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited because like there is at least 2 or 3 songs of this new album that they're so good for a live performance, because there is like, we usually like to get like the more intense songs on the set.
Mhm.
That way you have a very intense live set. So it's like there is at least a few songs on this one, like Lifeless Bird title track or Superior. There is some songs on this one that I can't wait to play live.
Okay. And then, how often do you guys see your guys' self changing the set list on? Because you guys tour a lot.
Well, we tend to like on this tour we had 3 different set lists. The one that we just did, just
Mhm.
because it was like a different requirements of time
Yeah.
during the nights. Some nights we could play longer, sometimes less. So it's like we had a few extra songs that we played some of the nights, and others that we didn't. But it's like we tend not to. Usually for one tour we keep the same set. Eventually we'll have a number of possible anchors if people ask for one more and is the right situation where you want to play one more.
Yeah.
That can eventually rotate, be like, oh, what do you guys want to do this or do that, But usually we have a set of like, now we're doing the headlining tour in June and July, which means we're gonna be able to play a lot of songs, because we're probably gonna say like an hour every night or whatnot. That allows you to fit a lot of songs. But then often if you're on a bigger tour, they let you play like 35 minutes, 40 minutes, half an hour. So it's like then you have to like, sacrifice some songs.
Yeah. And then with you being on a larger tour, do you feel like you guys are going to put more of the new record on there, since you said you're only putting 3 so far?
No, yeah. So far, the new records we were only able to play one, because
Okay.
the album is not out yet. So we were just playing the one that was, or the people already heard, which is kind of
Yeah.
like our single that was previewed, pre-heard. How do you say? Anyway, so like we were able to play one,
Yeah.
and so like on the new tour, we're gonna be able to play a lot of it. I want to play a
Yeah.
lot of it. I want to play at least 4 or 5, and then I still want to play at least 3 or 4 from the other albums.
And is there any ones you're looking forward to playing live?
I'm looking forward to play Lifeless Birth and Superior. Those 2
Nice.
songs are so hard hitting. Like they're gonna be very good for live.
And then as a vocalist and bassist, your guys' like stuff is pretty extreme, pretty fast. How long does it take you to get the set list down when you guys are getting ready for a tour?
What do you mean? Deciding which songs they're gonna play, or
No,
or
no,
to
just
rehearse?
you're playing, you're practicing.
Oh no, well that's like something that like I practice every day, unless like for example now I just got back from a tour, so I'm gonna take like a week or something like that, a week, 10 days, maybe a week where I don't play, just because I need to pay attention to my wife, and I haven't been here for almost 2 months, and like it's not the right time for me to be like, oh, I'm gonna lock myself in a room and play more music, like you also have to balance out private life and whatnot. But then it's like on my regular routine, I play for an hour or an hour and a half every day or more, depending how I'm feeling. But at least an hour a day, I'll go over the songs. We're probably gonna decide the set for this coming up tour soon and be like, okay, we need to learn these 15 songs, so we know them. Not that we don't know, like not relearn them, but like practice them. So like then I'll do it every day. I have my shit set up that I just have to grab it and play. It's not that I have to open, plug in the amplifier. It's already there. So I just go in, I'll smoke some weed and just play,
And then, so you're talking about that. So when you guys do get ready for a tour, how does the 3 of you get together? Do you guys get together like a week before and you guys go over it together?
Usually we go, depending, like usually we'll get together like about a week before the tour starts, and do long practices like every day, maybe 6 days, and then the day before the tour starts you have other things that you need to organize, your bag, your merchandise, get the van or whatever. So like usually it's a week. We will play for a week together before the tour starts. But then if it's like, for example, like when this tour ends, we're gonna do a US tour from June 5th to July 13th, and then we have like a week off before our Euro tour starts. So then we're not gonna practice because we already come from like 6 weeks of playing this shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. You guys tour quite often. What do you feel is the hardest things for you always being gone?
Well, the hardest things is like you start missing your partner at home, and it's like the hardest things is mostly is like worry that something will happen at home when you're not there. That's kind of like the biggest thing that worries you when you're not around for a while. It's like, oh, what if something happens where you're needed then you can't be there, you know,
Yeah.
because you can't just drop everything and be there. So you always hope everything goes smoothly.
It's
But like,
true.
it's the life we choose and we love it. So
Yeah.
like, no regrets. And
Right.
it is gratifying. You get to play every night. You get to meet the people that actually give a shit about your music, and it's cool. It's something that is as good as it can be. Like, we struggle all our lives to be able to do this, because that's what we
Yeah.
wanted to do it. So we have been able to do it for a few years, and then the pandemic fucked it all up, and then we had personal issues, and now we feel like we're finally back at it, and it couldn't feel any better. It's like, this is what we like to do, and it was kind of taken away from us, and now you feel like you're getting it back. So
Yeah.
it's extra exciting.
That makes sense. That's pretty cool. And you've been in the industry for quite a while. What advice would you give your younger self?
To myself,
Yes.
or to my younger self,
Yes.
about music, if I
Yeah.
have an advice,
Mhm.
to just, I don't know, just keep going. But I don't know, I don't have advice, but I wouldn't have any advice about music. I think we've been doing it for so long, wanting to do it and putting the effort. Like, we have done everything right. We never gave up. We always wanted to be a band that mattered,
Yeah.
and put the work into it. So it's like, the advice would be like, keep doing what you're doing. I would have other advices about other stupid shit,
Yeah.
like more like personal life disasters that, like, sometimes you waste a lot of time or energy, following something that wasn't even there. But yeah, as far as music, I think we did everything like how we were supposed to, and we still are in the process of our musical career. It's like, we're just here. There's still a lot that needs to happen.
And we already talked about you doing your dream tour lineup. But other than that, do you have any bucket list items you'd love to happen with Necrot?
Like in the future,
Yes.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. I hope that one day there's gonna be like we're gonna. I feel that like one day we're gonna, like, right now it's like everything just happens and you just keep going. There's another tour. Oh, this is sick. Let's go do it. Oh, this is happening. Oh, fantastic. Or Decibel wants you on the cover of their magazine, and you're like sick, and you just do it, and then you do another thing, and then the next one, and then so you're just, there's so much exciting shit. Like, we just finished the tour with Municipal Waste and Ghoul, and now like this other tour is gonna get announced in a few days, and then we're going to Europe. We're gonna play the festivals and stuff, and then we get back, and maybe there's another tour offer for the fall or the winter. And so it's like, you do all this stuff, and then you put so much effort into making your records as good as you possibly can, and it's just like, you're always concentrated on the next thing. You finish one, and there is always already something else that is about to happen. Like, I hope that one day in a bunch of years we'll look back, or people will look back and be like, oh, that was sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That one day a bunch of years will go by, and you look back and you'll be like, fuck, I'm proud of myself and my band, because it's like, we've all put a lot of work into it and sacrifices, and like, we got to a place that you're doing things that before you wouldn't even imagine you could do it. But also it's like, even technically, it's like, we played together for 13 years, so many shows that were like, we have such a good chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's a music experience, you're sharing with the people that plays with you, and you're like, it's a moment of really, like, you depend on each other, and you're playing the song live. So it's like, you reach some levels of playing with your bandmates that is like, it's really cool. Like, it goes beyond what you think you would have been ever technically able to pull out.
Yeah.
Sometimes like, we go fast, and I'm like, oh, holy shit, like, I wish I would show it to me when I was 16.
Right. And then I wanted to ask you something fun. What would your Mount Rushmore of death metal vocalists be?
Oh, my favorite death metal vocalist?
Yeah.
Well, I really like the singer from the band Grave.
Mm-hmm.
He's badass. I love his vocals. I love a lot of the different styles that Chuck Schuldiner pulled out with the different periods. Oh, well, Max Cavalera, early Sepultura shit.
Hell yeah.
That was so powerful. Fuck. And I mean, I love what's the name? Ross from Immolation, singer.
Yeah, he's good too.
Dude, his vocals are so deep and evil. Like,
Pretty much.
yeah, dude, the Immolation show is so intense. I love it so much.
Well,
we
they
got
put
to
on
play
hell of a show.
we got to play for a week with them or more. It was great to see them every night. It was like such a treat.
That's pretty cool.
Such a treat.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, intense. It's intense as fuck. Like, their show is so intense. I love it. It's
I
badass.
bet I saw him with Hypocrisy. They're fucking crazy.
Awesome.
Crazy. And for someone listening to Necrot for the first time, what 3 songs would you recommend them to listen to?
Oh, okay. I would tell them to listen to Superior from the new album. I would tell them to listen to Asleep Forever from Mortal and The Blade from Blood Offerings, one for each album.
Nice. Those are some good picks. And then, where can everyone keep up with Necrot and buy the new record?
Well, our website is called necrot.com. So that's easy to remember. And there you have our album, CD, tape, long sleeve t-shirts, whatever you can think of. But that's where we have our merchandise. And then if you want to buy a digital copy of the album instead of a physical copy, that will be on our Bandcamp website, necrot.bandcamp.com. And our record label is 10 Crimes. So 10crimes.com, I believe. They have a merch table shop where you have different variants of the albums, but no t-shirts. We are the only one who's got the shirts at necrot.com. And what was the question?
It was just to keep up with you guys, like
Instagram
to make sure
and Facebook. Instagram, I feel like Instagram is where we post more of the shit, also because you can repost what other people are posting, so it's easier. So Instagram and Facebook, I think that's where you get the news, the fresher news. We're about to announce the tour, so you can go check out if your city or somewhere close to you is on the list.
Awesome. And I'd like to thank you for being on the show.
No, thanks for inviting me.
Thank
I
you.
like your setup you got.
Thank you. Well, I'm gonna end the show. See you guys next interview.